Here are some examples. One is the people are working in very dirty environment. We hate this environment. We don't want to work in that environment. But for money, for our livelihood, some of our people, they work in this kind of environment. These are dirty work. Okay. This is dangerous work, Okay. The people are fixing the wiring on a pole. The guy is taking the waste from the home. Okay. The guy is cutting the tree, the big tree. These are dangerous jobs. Okay, if we can have robot to perform this kind of job. Okay, we need robotics, we need robot, we need AI things for performing this kind of job. Yeah, this is another circumstances, Okay, one is in the coal mining, and another one is cleaning the drain. Okay, so these are in human space. Okay, still human are working in this environment is intolerable. Okay, we should build some robot, we should build some system, we should build some car, some vehicle to perform this kind of job. Okay, to machine to perform that kind of job. Okay, so, and this is another place. These are in Bangladesh. Okay, one is in leather processing zone. This is really hazardous environment. Okay, when you go to Hazaribagh, when you inhale, you see how difficult it is, or how disgusting the smell is. Okay, and there are some material inside the air which is harmful for our lungs. Okay, so to perform this kind of job, we need robot. Okay, another one is shipyard. Okay, shipbreaking industry, where a lot of people are working in inhuman space and also very dangerous. Okay, after some months you will hear some people died in this environment, because when ship came, okay, a number of gas pockets are there. So when they cut the place, sometimes it blow up and some people die. Okay, so to work in this kind of environment, we need robot. Okay, and also in this kind of environment, this is a garments factory. Okay, in garments factory, the girls are working almost 18 hours. 18 hours. Yes, they get paid for overtime, but 18 hours, the same job is boring, is dull. Okay, now I am staying at home. I know how disgusting the washing the plate, cleaning my floor. These are dull work. Okay, so we want to build some robot, or actually the robot is required to do this kind of job. Okay, so again, dull, dirty, difficult, dangerous. To perform this kind of this four type of task, we want robot. So that is the law of building robots. Okay, number one. Okay, this first three laws AI robot. Okay, this law is for AI robot. First three law was proposed by Isaac Asimov, although it was in science fiction book, but I really think this is a very justified law. First three. Number one, a robot must not harm human being, nor through in any action allow one to come in harm. Any AI robot, those are autonomously, those work autonomously. We should not build such a robot that will harm human. Okay, like it cannot harm human. Okay. Second law, a robot must always obey human being unless that is in conflict with the first law. That means whatever you say to your robot, it will perform for you. If you say, go and make some tea for me, it will perform it. Okay, if you say, go and take me some water, it will do. Okay, if you say, clean my floor, it will clean. But if you say, go and hit Khalil sir, should not be. Okay, it should say, I'm sorry sir, I cannot do it because it violates my first law. Okay, so should not be like that. Okay? Number three law, a robot must protect from harm unless that is in conflict with the first two laws. That means if it finds some dangerous place, like some danger for itself, it can uh, it can skip that place. Okay, it can protect itself, but without conflict in the first law. Like if it want to go out from this room, for going out it have to harm some human being. It should not go out. Number one. And number two, if someone order stay there, some human order stay there, it should stay there, because maybe a machine can malfunction. A machine don't know. A machine can make the mistake, but we wish a human being is more accurate creature. Okay, so a human can take more proper decision. Okay, so if a human take the decision like this robot should not go out, if it stay here, maybe some other people of around that other place will get saved. It can order stay there, it should stay, it will destroy it, but some human life might get saved. Okay, so that's why that law. And the last one is proposed by me. Okay, I think since all these are electronics device, all these are mechanical device, anytime it can malfunction, so should have a kill switch. Okay, so that a visible kill switch, so that a human or anyone, if someone see it's malfunctioning, it can go touch or push and it will shut down. Or even should have some kill frequency, like if some quadcopter or some RC plane came around you, and if you know it's malfunctioning, then you can make a kill frequency and it will get down. Should have. Okay, this is my understanding, like should have like that. Okay. So these are the 4 laws for AI robots. Okay. Now these are the 4 thumb rules for using a robot. Like where shall we use the robot? Every time I make some lecture on robotics, people say if robot will come, human being will become jobless. So is it fair? Yes, that is a big question. So that's why this 4 thumb rule came. Number 1, a robot can be used for 4D, as I told you on a few times back, like dull, dirty, dangerous, and difficult task. Okay, to perform this kind of 4 difficult tasks or this 4 type of task, we can use a robot. Second thumb rule, the robot should not make human being jobless. Okay, very nice sentence. Robot and automation must serve to make our lives more enjoyable, not miserable. If we find robot is making people jobless, then we shouldn't use robot under circumstances. Okay, like in our country, if we use a number of robots in garment sector, maybe a number of girls will become jobless. Okay, so we have to take the decision whether we should make it or not. Okay, but the real scenario is the world is changing. Okay, China and some other country, they will build such a factory so that they can build a number of dresses in very short time. Okay, so it will become very cheap. Whenever you will use robot, things will become very cheap. Okay, since you don't need to pay the labor cost. Okay, you will just need to pay the initial cost to build the factory. After that, everything become very cheap. Okay, just the electricity cost and the maintenance cost. Okay, so if robot can build anything in any industry, then things become very cheap. Okay, so that's why we have to take the decision. If it's make people jobless, should not be. Okay, robot should not be used in that circumstances. And third law is, if there is a human as a candidate for a job, then we should not use a robot. Okay, like if you are asking for doing some job like pulling the rickshaw. If some human say, I want to pull the rickshaw, okay, then we should use him for pulling, not a robot. Okay, if robot also come and say, I also want to pull, I will make it very efficiently, but we should consider that we shouldn't make the human jobless. Okay, if someone want to do that job, we have to give the priority to him or her. Okay, and the last thumb rule is, should have a long-term or short-term economic sense. Long-term means Like as I told you, in some industry, you have to spend a lot of money as initial cost for building the factory, but after that, you just need to pay the electricity and some other maintenance cost. Become very cheap. So it has a very, very long-term benefit. Okay, and short-term means like if you use some robot for doing some job, people will become attracted and they will come to your place. Like in Japan, I have seen there are some electronics store where they were using the robot for just greeting. Okay, people are entering, they are saying hello and shaking the hand, and that's all. Okay, so it also have some short-term economic sense. So we have to take the decision. If we have any long-term and or short-term benefit, then we can use robot. But if we spend a lot of money, but you are not getting any benefit, even not short-term benefit or not long-term benefit, no. Like, okay, so we have to take the decision. So these are the 4 thumb rule for uses of robot. Okay, sometime the question came, but students get confused. This is the thumb rule for uses of robot, and the previous one was the rules of building AI robots. 2 things are 2 different things. Now, types of robot. We are making here 2 types. One is industrial, another one is non-industrial. Industrial means actually mainly the robotic arm. Okay, the spraying the color to the car. Okay, coloring the car. Also doing some shouldering or making some welding. Okay, to perform this kind of job, industrial job, we can use robot. This is one side, one type. And another type can be non-industrial, special purpose, like discovery or Mars curiosity, this kind of robot. Okay, these are special purpose, or even the autonomous car. Autonomous car is also kind of robot, So these kind of things are non-industrial. These robots are not using it like Roomba that we are using for our floor cleaning. These kind of robots are non-industrial robots. So we can make 2 types. One is industrial, another one is non-industrial. In non-industrial, there are 3 types of robots mentioning here. One is automatic guided vehicle, walking robot, parallel robot. So one is vehicle, another one is walking, like even vehicle is by using wheel, and walking robot means we're using some legs. Okay, 4 leg, 2 legs, 6 legs, this kind of robots. Okay, another one is parallel robot. Parallel robot is 3D kind of 3D printer and also doing some game simulation work. Okay, for that kind of purpose, we can use parallel robot. Okay, these are the types of robot. Here I am showing some interesting robots available in the current world. We can see. Okay, we can get the advantage of that kind of robots. One, my most favorite robot is Mars Curiosity. It is still sending us the picture from the Mars. Okay, and in Bragg University we have very good research on this kind of vehicle. Okay, we are building Mars rover for attending a lunar robotic mining competition. Okay, and I know the wheels the Mars Curiosity is using is the best wheel. Okay, they are using hub motors inside it. I know this is the best one. Okay, I know the robotic arm it's using is the best one. I know the laboratory it's using on the robot is the best lab, can be compact in very small space. Okay, we are also trying to build this kind of robot, but I feel this is the best one. The structure, okay, the suspension system, okay, is the best. Okay, so this is my most favorite robot, Mars Curiosity.